that route must go. They bury the facts. They warp the science. They're in denial. A Chinese hoax is climate challenge. So, well, we cannot stand by while this administration silences science. We cannot stand by. And may I just say this, because I want to associate myself with all of the remarks of Congresswoman Jayapal. In the interest of time, I won't reiterate some of those priorities, but except to salute her for her leadership in those regards. But I will also add that one of the most important things we can do to protect our children's health, the air they breathe, the water they drink, the food they eat, the prospects for the future, is to reduce the role of money in politics. The connection between the corruption and conflict of interest in this administration and their decisions and their appointments is very direct. There is a direct relationship between money and politics. The big money that is being put in to protect the fossil fuel industry, the big money that is being put in to diminish the role of science in our good. Now let's talk about science in one other respect. It is a job creator. It is a job creator. Whatever you want to talk about, whether you want to talk about basic biomedical research, you have a scientist, but you also have a carpenter, a plumber, an electrician. You have jobs created throughout our economy. So whether it's about faith, if you believe, as do I, that this is God's creation, and some of the evangelicals join us in saying, because it is God's creation, we must be good stewards of it. We must be good stewards. But even if you do not share that religious belief, you all agree that we have a moral responsibility to our children to preserve the planet and pass it on in a better way. In a better way. So understanding our responsibilities, all of us, I just want to salute all of you for turning out. I want to recognize my former colleague, Rush Holt, who's now the head of the American Association for the Advancement of Science, who's participating in Washington, D.C. as we assemble here. When he was in Congress, he was a relentless champion for investments in scientific research. On the outside, now he's doing that. So inside and outside. Inside maneuvering, outside mobilization for science. God's gift to all of us. So let's just remember, if we had 4 things that we wanted to do to make the world a better place for our children, it would be, join me, science, 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 and science. Thank you, Seattle, for your commitment to science. And thank you for sending Congresswoman Jayapal to the Congress of the United States.
Thank you, Congresswoman Jayapal and Leader Pelosi. We are honored that you asked to speak today in support of science and in defense of the environment. Please give them another round of applause. All right. The march organizers would now like to take a moment to acknowledge that our nation's land was first owned by its first inhabitants, and many of these indigenous cultures were stripped of their land and the resources within it. This includes the land we stand on today.
Interesting.
But we are lucky enough to be standing here today, united in support of science. So now, please stand if you are able for our national anthem. We now want to recognize the wonderful organizations who have partnered with us to advance this year's theme of Science's Silenced Voices. Please visit their tables at the opposite end of the field today. If you brought food items to donate, thank you so much. You will find Northwest Harvest at the rightmost table to take your donations. Please also feel free to leave a cash donation if you did not bring any food today. Say hello to our partnering organizations.